Hey everybody, how you doing? This is episode 19 of Dan's Expert Tips for Authors, Publishers, and Speakers who want to make some money. I am Dan Blanchard, the best-selling and award-winning author, speaker, and educator, as well as the Connecticut president of the Association of Publishers for Special Sales, as well as the co-host for Mindalia TV. Today I'm here to talk to you about dealing with criticism. Yes, the last episode 18, I talked to you about doing a lot. When you do a lot, you can't be perfect, but you got to do a lot. That's the only way to get things done. You got to do a lot. If you're going to make any, gain any ground in this world, you got to do a lot. So you're not going to be perfect, okay? And when you're not perfect, people are going to criticize you, and that's just the way it goes. I mean, there are some days I'm working like 20-hour days, and sometimes I'm making videos at like 4 in the morning. And I remember one time I got a comment on one of the videos I made, and the guy was like, "Dude, what are you, high?" And I was like, no, I'm not high. I'm just exhausted from freaking doing so much. Of course, I never told him that. I never responded, all right? Don't ever respond to those things, all right? And when I looked at the video, I was like, man, do I look tired? I could see how the guy kind of thought maybe I was high, but I wasn't, of course. I was very, very tired. And this is the only time this guy ever said anything to me, so I just let it go. You know what I'm saying? But if someone says something twice, then maybe I gotta get rid of them, okay? All right, so that's how it goes. When you do a lot, you get tired. You're not always at your best. You don't always look your best, but whatever. You just keep doing a lot, okay? I remember one time I sent out a newsletter, and I got back a reply from somebody that said, you know, how dare you send me such a juvenile, immature newsletter? And I was like, wow, I mean, did I mess up? What now? Is my writing terrible? Am I a terrible writer? And then next thing I know, I get this thing from this college professor that says, loves your newsletter. And then I get this thing shortly from an editor, professional editor. And she says, Dan, I love the genius and your simplicity with your newsletter. Way to go. So I'm thinking, all right, cool. And that other person, heck with them, right? And I just, never paid attention to him. I remember one time, it wasn't too long ago, I was doing a speech. This guy walked out about halfway through the speech and then wrote a terrible review of my speech saying that I didn't have any handouts. And I'm like, dude, if you had just waited a little bit longer, handouts were coming. Handouts are right there. You left too early. That's why you didn't get your handouts on it, okay? So again, I just ignore that. Don't let that stuff get under your skin. I mean, this stuff happens all the time. It happens to everyone. I remember one time I was co-presenting with someone, and I didn't know this, but some of the people in the audience were kind of hostile, and they were plants. They were political plants to give my co-presenter a hard time, which meant they were also giving me a hard time. Now, if I let that get under my skin, holy cow, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Don't let that stuff get under your skin. I mean, things are happening sometimes for reasons that you don't know. And just let it go. Let it go. Like I said, this kind of stuff happens to everybody. Don't engage with them. I remember one time I was doing this Facebook thing of a buddy of mine who died, and I wrote this very touching, warm blog about him. And I get this response that some guy says, hey, Dan, it's not all about you. And I'm like, okay, now this is twice. This guy has said something. So I just unfriended him. I didn't respond. Don't ever respond. Don't ever engage. I mean, the problem's very easy to make go away. If someone does it twice, just block them. Delete the message, block them, problem gone. It just disappears so easily. Don't get caught up in the drama, all right? Just get rid of them, all right? So it's easy. All right, now this happens to me a lot. I call people all the time that I don't know. You know, they send me a LinkedIn message or something saying, hey, can we talk? And I do it all the time. I've never had any problem. But I imagine someday I will have a problem with somebody be calling me saying crazy things. So at some point, I might have to get that app that goes on your phone that protects you like with a firewall. The phone number they see is not your real phone number, right? So if you ever start getting crazy phone calls from people, you just change that. And it's no big deal. You never have to mess with your real phone number. Now, I haven't had to go to you yet, but I imagine someday I probably will. Okay, so remember this. Always remember this. Every single one of us gets criticism, but we all get way more positive criticism than we do negative criticism. So don't forget that. That's easy to forget because the negative criticism stinks. All right, and that's the stuff you remember. But don't remember that. Just brush it right off your shoulder and remember the positive stuff. Okay, listen, I'm going to be back real soon with episode 19. I hope that this episode 18, I'm going to be back real soon with episode 20. See, I hope maybe I'll get criticized for that. And I hope that this episode 19 was good for you, helped you a little bit with dealing criticism. I'll be back soon, like I said, with episode 20. In the meantime, be sure to check me out at danblanchard.net or granddaddysecrets.com, and I'll catch up with you real soon. Take care now.